Welcome to Sports Connection. I'm Darrin Joins, Williamson County Schools Athletic Director. I'm here with Mr. Tate Mathews. Tate, welcome back. Happy New Year. Welcome to 2025.
Happy New Year. 2025, we're back. It's basketball and wrestling from here on out for a while, and we're back for another year. I'm very excited. These snow flurries and freezing temperatures, what a great way to get us in the mood to be indoors for basketball and wrestling.
Well, what I learned for the show, before you came in, I was talking to executive producer.
No, that's
Creed.
you.
But he's something. What's his official title?
He's. I guess he's an executive producer.
He's the guy.
He's the guy.
He doesn't even wear jackets hardly.
Oh, he's in short sleeves. I mean,
I was telling him, obviously you remember the big curl, Matt Thurman, who I coached at Franklin. This is no lie. Had him in class. He wore shorts every single day.
No matter what.
No matter what. I didn't know. It's like, hey, man, what are you doing? He's like, Coach, I wear shorts every day.
Bundled up, though, with a coat, right?
No. Probably sweatshirt.
Oof. Not me. I always like to call Big Curl Big Perm.
He's great, man.
He was great.
Love Big Curl. All right, Tate, let's just jump in, man.
Okay.
So hoops, just kind of a review. When we left for the break, we had played 2 district games, and we've still played 2.
Yep.
Fairview.
That was intentional.
That's right. Fairview still hasn't played a district game, but we got them coming up. So just a reminder on the standings, and it's the exact same boys and girls.
Hadn't changed.
Brentwood and Owensville Page, 2-0 on the boys and girls side. Ravenwood Summit, both 0-2. Franklin, and Centennial also 0-2. Again, both sides. Indy, Franklin 1-1. So we got a little bit of a start. Obviously, a lot of things to determine. We're going to talk about this week's games here in just a bit. But because we didn't play any district games, doesn't mean there wasn't action during the break.
Correct. A lot of Christmas tournaments and Christmas play days, and had some nice wins, and I got some good work in. I know, talking to the guys, I know you were like this too. I always like to watch how different ones schedule, to see what they're looking for. But you can tell on the boys' side and the girls' side, a lot of them went out and made sure they had some really tough competition. And they'll all tell you, because it's getting ready for what are we? We're District 4, 10A.
Yeah. So yes,
it's getting ready for the meat grinder or the grind that is 10A, and so I like it.
So here's what I would also say, and I believe this in football too. However, when people want to make the argument, well, if there's a tie, we might go with overall record. I get that. Basketball, it literally doesn't matter.
No.
So to me, you're out of league games, especially if you got a program that's good and you feel confident in your job and all that kind of stuff. You should be scheduling games that you know you could lose. Doesn't mean you're trying to lose, but you have a chance to lose because, like you said, once we get into league play, there's a lot of chances you're going to lose.
Right.
So may as well do it.
It's better to find out what our deficiencies are down in Hilton, the Hilton Sandestin
right.
Christmas Classic or whatever, or in the Centennial Play Day. It's better against Stewart's Creek or whoever. It's better to find those out than it is against a district opponent.
I've always thought too in basketball that obviously the season starts, you're playing a lot of people and all this kind of stuff. The bench gets shorter and shorter. I feel like Christmas during that holiday break, that's when you've made a decision. Okay, here's how we're for sure going to play. Here's the rotation. Here's how we're going to do it. And then when these district games crank up this week, you kind of are who you are in terms of who you're playing and the style you're playing.
Yeah, and well, I mean, think about it. You're going to get to them, but I mean, it's this week.
It's time.
These all count now.
It's time.
I think we've got a couple that might be playing. I think Franklin maybe somebody's playing Siegel.
Right,
Brentwood's playing Siegel, but then after that, man, it's
on.
They all go into those standings you're talking about right there. And I do think it's interesting on the boys' side that the 2 heavily favored number ones. No, we're talking 1-1 here. It's no need to hit the panic button. But Franklin and Independence, I think, were overwhelmingly who people had as the 2 favorites to win on the boys' side are sitting there at 1-1, and there's 3 2-0 teams.
You know what I really think?
And don't think, well, the 2-0 teams haven't beat anybody. Those ones come from up there in the 2-0.
That's right. Nolensville, to me, the most impressive.
Beat both of them.
That's right, Franklin Indy. So I would say this too. I don't think you really know until one time through. And remember, last year that kind of got messed up because there was a couple teams you didn't play until back-to-back the second time through. So if you can get through that first time through and play it in order, then you kind of know. I feel like on the girls' side, we know right now when it comes to the top 3. Nolensville, Brentwood, and Page.
Yeah, just what order are they?
That's the top 3.
And I think we've agreed on this, and I think obviously it's a team, but I think Brandamore is such a matchup problem. I think Franklin can mess that up a little bit.
They could. I agree with you. I definitely agree with that. All right, let's just do some highlights here. Oh, and by the way, speaking of how the schedule's set up, we got the rivalries. Get credit to Patrick Whitlock, who's like the guru of scheduling. Got it set up where those are on consistent nights. Hearing some talk that we want to get Rivalry Friday.
Ooh, back.
Going again. We'll see.
It would have to be a new venue. The old venue's not there anymore.
Well, which one are you talking about? Remember we went King's Bowl? Is that gone too?
No, I don't think so. But
we went Mafiosis.
Yeah.
Give credit to Dr. Qualls. That was his spot.
I thought the last one we had was
King's Bowl, man.
Oh, King's. Oh,
we did a media day, I think. There.
I'm all in. Yes, that's what it was. We did media day.
We like King's Bowl.
King's Bowl was great.
It was great.
Little Papa Shot action afterwards.
That's right. Coach Tiger, he liked King's Bowl.
And his wife.
Enjoyed it. They really did.
Yeah.
Nolensville. We're going to do this kind of by school. So let's talk about the Nolensville boys and girls. You were talking about this, Tate. What a trip they had to Sandestin in Florida. Both get the victory.
They both get the victory. And a little side note, I know you've been keeping up with this. I don't know who runs the Hilton Sandestin tournament, but I'm not so sure that I wouldn't tell Wilco, thanks for coming. We appreciate your participation.
No more.
Don't come anymore. This is the 3rd year in a row a Wilco boys team has won it, right? Franklin, Indy, or vice versa. It was Indy, Franklin, Nolensville.
That's right. And Indy beat Franklin, and then Franklin beat Nolensville.
Right.
And now Nolensville wins.
Yeah. Thanks, but don't come anymore. Find somewhere else.
Although they probably like it for Gate, because I assure you the Wilco folks come.
They travel. I hope the weather was good. But yes, both the boys and the girls went down there and won, so it was a great trip for them. The girls defeated Knox Central, not to be Kentucky, not to be confused with Knox Central, home of Baseball Hall of Famer Todd Helton. Did you know that's where he went?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, not to be confused with Knox Central out of Knoxville, but Knox Central, Kentucky in the final 58-52. They're now 13-1. The boys defeated Lambert, not to be confused with Coach Wes Lambert, who was the first boys coach. You like that? At Nolensville. But they defeated Lambert, Georgia in the final 65-57. They are now 12-3. MVPs for both the boys and the girls, Nyla Johnson and Kyson Barney. So congratulations to them. And we had some all-tournament team members as well.
Leilani Washington, Nolensville, girls, Chris Johnson, Cale Barney. Think maybe Kyson was talking some trash to Cale on the way home, like, good job, man.
Hey, they're twins.
Yeah. Congratulations.
I'd like to know who's older, but yeah, especially if he's older. Like, hey, little brother, I got it. Oh, why is your plaque small? Oh, that's right, because that was the reason MVP. Hey, and man, I meant to write this down. I was reading Charles Charles' article. The girls scored 58 points in there. They had four young ladies in double figure. Man, they're really playing well. They're really balanced.
Galloway, Brakefield. I think I'm saying that right. And then
I mean, if we don't know this, and we tell you Nolensville Lady Knights win the tournament, and they had the MVP, you're going to think it was Washington.
Right.
I mean, they're balanced, man.
They're good. And Coach Ladd, I think, does as good a job as anyone.
I do too.
I really do. You know, we talk about Coach Whitlock as the dean of coaches because he is, but if you're talking about the dean of combining the both, it's Coach Ladd.
Without a doubt. And then if you count being an assistant, he was with BK at Centennial.
That's right.
He might have even been with Petroni at
That's
Centennial.
right. I forgot about that.
Oh, yeah. He's been here quite some time. He pretty much left Overton. Johnny O went to college and then came to Wilco. And I've been ever since.
Coach Ladd obviously got his sideline demeanor from Coach Petroni. Listen, Coach Petroni, I know you're not watching, but if anybody knows Coach, he's maybe the most unhappy guy I've ever been around.
Petro is Eeyore.
Hey, man, congratulations on the tournament win. Yeah, we only won by 15.
We're terrible.
So, quit talking to him.
Don't even ask.
Fun guy.
Well, but they always say, right? I mean, I would say there's maybe somewhere in your career, maybe not. You became a head coach so early, but you can learn. You know, you can learn as much about being a good head coach from being under. You know, you can learn what you don't want to do just as much as you can what you do want to do.
Probably get some drills from him, but not demeanor.
No, well, and Fogler did it this way. Fogler did it that way. Yeah, we ain't got anybody like Fogler's coaching.
Billy McCaffrey's not walking through that door.
No, that was a good one. Good one. But Ladd's kind of, I think he loves the women's basketball world that he's in.
I'm a big fan of
A
Ladd.
big part of it, I think, had to do with his daughter.
Yeah.
But now, I think that's where he wants to be.
Now, listen, I know we was going to make people mad at us to start 2025. I don't think I'm a Nolensville homer and all that kind of stuff. I like what Nolensville has going on. When you watch, like, the chemistry of their coaches,
Yeah.
you're talking about Coach Manderfield coaching track, and he's also on the football staff, and you're talking about Coach Hudson, Coach Derrick, Coach Gadice, Coach Ladd. There's this great chemistry, and it's real.
Yeah.
It's not made up. They really pull for each other. I think part of that is they came in to the new school. They're trying to prove themselves. It's like this mantra they have. But I like their chemistry.
I do too. Well, they did a great job hiring from the beginning.
They did.
Mr. Harlan and Coach Hester did a great job hiring from the beginning. They got a great culture, and it's still a community, right? So you hired right. It's a good community. They got some good. And don't forget about our man Melzoni with wrestling. He's doing a great job as well.
Now, Mama Hester, who I'm assuming watches during the football off season too.
Yes, she tunes in, and then if she maybe hears that maybe there's something she's got to check out, she'll go check it out on YouTube. I may or may not get a FaceTime on it.
Mama Hester, Nolensville doesn't love your son like you do.
Not no more.
They did for a while. Hey, let's talk Page, boys and girls. Again, two teams playing really well. Both have 13-3 records. They hosted what they called the Music City Hoop Fest. That's becoming a pretty exciting little event there. The girls with wins over Springfield and Oakland. The boys had 3 wins, including Springfield and Germantown.
Yeah, I like that.
Home of Ian Clark, since we've got a great Ian Clark story.
Fire it away.
Belmont Ian Clark.
Of course.
And played in the pros. So Germantown's playing in a tournament at Beach when I was at Beach. And, you don't really have time to scout, but you're like scouting the day before and all this kind of stuff. So Clark, who admittedly, he's got a kind of a jacked up looking shot. So we're going to play him the next day at Beach.
Like Jason Kidd jacked up or what?
It's just funny looking.
Okay.
It's not pure looking. So he hit several threes in the game before, and I told the team before the game, I said, now listen, this Clark guy, number 21 or whatever number.
Stinks.
I said, he had some shots yesterday, but you can tell he's not really going to keep hitting them. So let's kind of cover him, but we really don't care if he shoots. About 4 minutes of the game. Hey, guys, remember I said the thing about the not shoot?
How many had he hit?
Let's scrap that. Not enough.
What's Wolf always say, there's a reason why bad shooters are open. He wasn't a bad shooter.
No, just had kind of weird form. But anyway, he took that L, though.
Dang right he did.
He did.
Buccaneer Classic. Speaking of the Buccaneer Classic, I don't know what you called it back then. Page played well in that.
They did, but they played like, who'd they play? They played
Tennessee Heat.
They played a team that they just got some guys together before the game played.
Tennessee Heat. And Coach Street, man, it's all love because one thing
it's like an AAU team.
We're getting ready. Homeschool.
The Blaze.
We're getting ready to talk.
Ignite
about how tough he's scheduled. He's tough. He's scheduled really tough. But yeah, it was them and then the other cats. MHAE. I don't know, Meharry Medical.
Yeah, that's no good.
Meharry Medical
that's no good
Teachers Kids School. I don't know. I hadn't heard of them. Two dubs though. But you go back and look at Germantown, Oak Ridge, Bearden. He's scheduled really tough leading up into this.
He did.
And they're really, speaking of balance, they're really balanced.
They are.
And Pablo's got to go on our All Sports Connection name team, right? Huh? Yeah. I mean, when he's talking about Pablo getting the double-double, I mean, it just sounds right. Pablo Gonzalez.
And we also had Kikuya. We like that name too.
Of course we do.
He
played well too.
Let's talk about this. Girls.
Yep.
They go to, and I wonder why Coach Kaufman didn't give me an invite. It's my favorite place on earth.
Exactly.
The Hilton Head Seahawk Classic. They go there. They make it all the way to the final. They lose in the final to David Crockett in Tennessee. Obviously, they're good, or they wouldn't be beating Page. And then they also, besides Hoop Fest, they played in what was called the Border Wars out there at Bethel. They played Marshall County, Kentucky. That's usually a powerhouse. Yeah. They knocked them off. So, again, talking about Coach Street, Coach Kaufman, both have scheduled really tough, and both of their teams are going to have a shot to go really deep in the postseason.
I agree, without a doubt.
Brentwood boys. Now, the Willie Brown Memorial Tournament. There's a couple of tournaments at Father Ryan that are really sort of legendary tournaments. This is one.
Yes.
On the basketball side, the Brentwood boys, it's an all-boys tournament. 8 usually local teams, usually a very tough tournament. One of Troy Allen's all-time favorite tournaments. Barry Wortman, he loves playing in that tournament.
I was going to say, you can always count on Blackman and Green Hill.
And Clarksville. Ted Young.
And Clarksville to be in that tournament.
Ted Young. So Coach Crane and his squad, they make it all the way to the finals. They lose to a really good Father Ryan team. Coach Bontrager does a good job. They haven't really been good the past several years. He's got a good team this year.
He's got a 7-footer that's not a goof.
Which helps.
Yes. I mean,
no offense to the 7-footers.
Unless you're a goof.
Unless you're a goof. 51-44. They beat Blackman, Wortman, Clarksville, Ted Young, first 2 rounds. In fact, that Clarksville game was 94-80. They hit 20 threes. I will say this. Everyone's going to be watching that Father Ryan film going, 44 points. How did they do it?
No doubt about it.
So we'll see, but great run there by Coach Crane and his team. 11-2. Not that they're a total surprise, but I think most are fairly surprised at that record right now. They are really playing well.
They are, man, and they're shooting well. They hit 23s in the Clarksville game. Now, the thing that he was not excited about was then they gave up a bunch of threes to Clarksville. That, if you were in attendance for that one, you definitely got your money's worth out of that. But so he's been saying that they got to play a little bit better defense. But
174 points in that game.
Crazy.
In a high school game.
Yeah. And it wasn't like there was a bunch of free throws. I mean, it was just threes both ways. So, and the Blackman win was exciting because Blackman beat them earlier in the year. So they came back and Wirt was prepared. You know what I'm saying?
He was overly prepared.
He was overly prepared. So that's a good win.
He would have known Ian Clark was the shooter.
100%. Or Vossi would have, and then relay.
Hey, Vossi, fold those towels and get the scout going.
And pay the tab. At 2, so my
and we're staying till 2 a.m.
My hamburger steak and baked potato.
We're staying here till 2 a.m. to get the scout.
2 a.m.
I'm not.
I don't care if you got a family.
I'm not staying.
Hey, but they're getting better. What I'm saying is they had to have gotten. You don't catch Blackman off guard.
Right.
So it's not like they did something different or. They just played better. They're getting better.
And Blackman's had I say down for them. They get a little better team this year too.
They do. That's right. And if they're, one thing they're always going to do is to defend. So, yeah, man, it sounds like as much running as they're doing, we might have some more. Coach Crane's developing some more multi-sport athletes. They might go out for the cross-country team in the fall or the distance in the already dominating track program. They're running people to death.
They are. I give them credit for saying, here's who we have. Let's go with it. Franklin boys and girls, they both get wins over Marshall County, 77-62, the Marshall County, Tennessee.
Correct.
77-62 on the boys' side, 39-27 on the girls' side. The reason I mentioned this game, a couple individual accolades there. Number one, Christian Brown Christian Brown, 43 points, 15 rebounds, and 4 blocks.
It's a pretty good night.
Nice night, Christian. Girls side, Cecily Brandamore, the junior, gets her 1,000th point. You're on the Brandamore.
She's dominating, man.
You like Brandamore.
I do. I like the way she plays. It's Tim Duncan-esque.
It is.
Double-double.
Good comparison.
Yeah, big NBA guy. You know that.
You are.
It's Tim Duncan-esque the way she does it. And then I can't remember exactly, but they scored 39 points. I think she had 24 or 25 of them. Point being,
she's got too many of them.
Yeah, too many of them. But everybody knows that's the game plan, is she's still getting them, you know? Kind of like you were talking about, everybody's going to look at the film of the Father Ryan Brentwood and, you know, what was that? But it's no surprise that she's going to get the bulk of them. She still gets them. So, yeah, big time.
What I like.
And that's a huge win for Franklin. But this Marshall County basketball has not been the same since a young Jeremy Qualls was the head basketball coach there. I mean, let's just call it what it is.
Listen, one of my resolutions is be nicer to him, so I'm just going to leave it at that.
Tore it up.
The Brandamore, Brown, dominant games. Two of the best around. Yeah. All right, let's talk about this, Tate. Let's take a look here. So this week's games, highlighted by Friday's Ravenwood-Nowensville WCTV Game of the Week. Just taking a look at those two nights, what are some games that stand out to you? Either both games, or maybe this one I like the girls matchup, this one I like the boys matchup. Take a look and see what you think.
Obviously, we'll just say the doubleheader at Page versus Brentwood, obviously. So let's throw that out. First one that jumps out to me is Independence Franklin boys, because let's find out where we really are. We got the defending 4A state champions. Yes, they lost some really good players, but they got some really good ones back. And Franklin, who everybody but you, I think at Media Day, had them picked number one. And I'm not saying you're not right, but you know, you got Tylen Lewis and you got your boy Christian. So we've got two of the top players in the area going up against each other, two of the top teams. But I'll tell you the one that really jumps out to me. Independence and Franklin on the boys' side both have one loss. Who are they to?
Nolensville.
Nolensville's 2-0. Centennial.
I thought you were
sitting here at 0-2.
I thought you were going to say that.
Everybody thinks, they're not going to be very good. They've got their football guys back. I think Stewart's Creek was the first time over break they had all their team back. A couple of the guys had played in several of the all-star football classics. Everybody was back. Our man Daniel Patton, I think, had 28, 33. I'm just telling you, Centennial is a little. I said it from the beginning. They're a little scary. If you think they're going to hang out down there at the bottom where they are right now, I think you're overlooking them. So, Nolensville, are the 2-0? Is that real, or is the Centennial 0-2? Is that real? It's going to be interesting to see.
I like that one. I like the Summit Ravenwood boys game.
I do too.
Couple of guys that like to play chess. They'll play it a little differently, do whatever they have to do to win that game. And then boys and girls side, I'm probably a little biased on this, the traditional rivalry. Friday night, Franklin hosting Brentwood.
Yep, that's good. That's a good one. Those crowds are always good. And then, going over to Friday, obviously those two are really good. And then, think about it. It's not obviously the amount of years don't go back, but Ravenwood doesn't enjoy losing to Nolensville in anything, and got to think they're probably underdogs in both those games.
Yes, and yes. Check and check.
Yes.
That'll be a great crowd.
Yes.
It'll be a great crowd. All right, let's talk a little wrestling. One of your favorite tournaments. I always think the grade 8 you love talking about.
Love it.
And track. I always feel like this is one that you like talking about too. The Johnny Drennan Memorial at Father Ryan. What a tournament.
What a tournament. Well, there's a couple of reasons why. One, it's been around forever. It used to be called the Father Ryan Invitational. Coach Pat Simpson, who's been there forever, changed it over to the Johnny Drennan Memorial. And, you don't have to get asking about the beloved coaches and Father Ryan figures long before Coach Drennan gets brought up. But anyways, the Johnny Drennan, it's private schools, it's public schools, it's Tennessee schools, it's out-of-state schools, all thrown in there together.
Nowhere to hide.
Nowhere to hide. It is the measure. It has always been, and it still is the measuring stick, really, for how the season's going. So it's always a very good indicator. Place high, do well at the Drennan or the Father Ryan Invitational. Probably got a pretty good chance to do great at the state tournament because, again, we're splitting up there. So Father Ryan won it, which they usually do. But the Union County, Kentucky's always there. You know, they're really good.
Alma mater of?
Union County.
You won't get it. David Woods.
Oh, really?
My man, Coach Woods. Yeah.
Big? Was he a wrestler?
No, hoops.
And the reason why I say that is the Simpson brothers, Pat and Frank, say wrestle. So that's why I say it. But anyways, Nolensville finishes up. Baylor was there. McCauley was there. I mean, it's
Cleveland was there. Cleveland was 6, Nolensville 7.
wow. I did not know that. And Nolensville gets 7th overall. You've been on the Nolensville wrestling
I have.
train for a while, but you do well there, man, and you've really done something. We had a state champion. We had a tournament champion, Jackson Ard from Brentwood. Let me tell you something. When we went to Summit last year, was that the regions to watch that wrestling?
District.
That was the district tournament?
No, you're right. It's region. It was region.
And he and the Summit guy, you know, he's a little bit, he's so tall. He's a little bit different.
He is.
Looking heavyweight. He has done nothing but get better and better and better. And man, I mean, he goes in there and wins that. Let me tell you something. I didn't go. I didn't have to go. I know the schools were there. He wins heavyweight at that tournament. That's a big deal.
Pencil him in for state champion.
Can't wait. Would love it. Would love it.
Although Summit's got a guy too who wasn't at this tournament that they think he's got a shot too.
That's right. Yeah, he's definitely going to be a placer. Chase Mays of Nolensville placed at 190. He got runner-up. And then third place, we had Nolan Barton of Nolensville at 113. Ryan Dietrich at Ravenwood of 120. Brody Melzoni, yes, there is a relation, at 175. And Jack Sentel of Nolensville at 215. So you look at the placers and you see why Nolensville was the highest placing team in the Drennan.
Shout out to Brody Melzoni and Nolan Barton. They get their 100th career wins during the break.
That's
now,
strong, man.
Let's take a look at this. So if you look at those teams, Franklin 18th. It's 52 teams. I mean, that's still a good finish. Independent 16.
Yep.
Brentwood 11. Ravenwood, that's who I wanted to mention. They're
They're creeping. They're lurking. They're climbing.
Coach Peck.
Oh, yeah.
He does a good job. You knew when he took that over, wasn't in a totally great place.
No.
Here they come.
Well, and the number one thing, that's,
He gets numbers. He gets people
that's what I was
out.
going to say. You got to have kids. You got to have, or there's too many open points.
Too many open points.
Empty point, whatever you want to call it. There's too many empty classes. He gets numbers out, man.
You finished 9th in that tournament,
Done well.
then you've got a good team. All right, let's talk about this one. This one happened right before Christmas. The Mayor Garston tournament out at Independence. There were 20 teams there.
Yep.
This week's gym, you're going to like it. WCS. Now I'm talking the WCS public schools. There were 26 total weight classes.
Yep.
When you're talking about the 14 guys, 12 girls. We had someone in every final but 6.
It's awesome.
And several of those, it was a Wilco and Wilco crime situation.
Yes. Which it's still in there in case you're wondering.
We didn't make a resolution on changing that.
No.
4 on the boys' side, 2 on the girls' side. There were only 4 out of the 14 weight classes, 2 out of the 12 on the girls' side where we didn't have a Wilco athlete in the finals. Look at the boys' side. Again, Father Ryan wins it. Independence second, Ravenwood third. Centennial finished 6th. Now, you talk about the depth on the wrestling side. Maybe the deepest in terms of how strong the individual teams are than it's been.
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah.
I mean, it really is good.
Yeah.
Now
Now
remember,
remember,
Page, who's wrestling great, and
they are.
Summit, who wasn't in these tournaments.
Summit wasn't there.
I'm just telling you, man.
So that
Well, the point was, we've already admitted Ravenwood's,
yeah.
and Indy was ahead of them. Now, there may have been people out and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. But the fact that Indy finished ahead of Ravenwood tells me Indy's pretty strong.
I think so too. It's going to be fun to watch. I think you got to think Summit and Nolensville are in. Where does it shake out after that? It's going to be really fun. It's tighter than it's been.
We'll have a lot of individuals in that traditional tournament.
Yes.
Hey, Tate, if you would, run down our individual champions on the boys' side.
And the Mayor Garston, Ryan Dietrich, Ravenwood 126, Maddox Eskew of Ravenwood 138. They probably practiced together in the room. Riddick Romano of Independence at 144, Leo Roberts of Independence at 157, Alex Osborne, Ravenwood 175, Owen Duck, Centennial at 190, and Joshua Montero Marquez, Centennial 285. Another heavyweight that we got there. So it's going to be that's going to be a tight weight class.
Girls teams, our top finisher, Summit, finished third. Clarksville won. They've been one of those teams on the girls' side.
Yeah, and Northwest.
For a while.
They got that going.
They really do. Summit finishes third. Independence finishes eighth. Champions from Summit, Samantha O'Leary, Finley Craig, Olivia Johnson, and then Emery Wilson from Ravenwood. Several names that have been doing well for several years. Tate, show number 1 for 2025 is in the books. And listen, we'll let intern Will and Creed be the judge of this, and also the viewers out there. We never skipped a beat, man. It's like we weren't off.
I felt like I was here last week, man. It's simpatico.
Now, the viewers out there, I mean, you're assuming we didn't have to take any retakes.
That's right. 0. Hey, can we change? We got just 1 minute. Let's pick some of those games Tuesday and Friday.
All right, I'll tell you what. It'll be a boys and a girls.
Since I've been, I am now the worst picker in pick'ems and football. Need to try my luck at another sport.
All right, so let's do this, the ones we mentioned.
Okay.
Independence, Franklin. Let's pick both the boys and girls.
Okay.
Both boys and girls, 1-1. And I'll pick first, if you don't mind. I'm going to go.
Show.
I'm going to go Franklin girls, Independence boys.
Okay. Good with that.
And you're going with?
I'll go Franklin girls. And I'm going Franklin boys.
You're going for the
sweep,
which wouldn't surprise me. It's going to be a great game.
We don't need any. We don't need any side commentary on this.
Well, I don't want the Franklin people atting me. Okay, how about this one? Now the Nolensville Centennial girls. This is no offense to Centennial.
Okay.
Nolensville's going to win.
Okay.
But the Nolensville Centennial boys game at Nolensville. Who do you think on that one?
I already told you.
Centennial.
Yep.
You're
going Nolo.
I'm going Nolensville because it's at Nolensville.
Let me tell you something though. I like Gadice, man.
I do too.
He coaches tough and he coaches defense. I like it. They're kind of a little bit alike.
They are. I do think, to your point, Coach Jeremy Moore and his squad, later is when you're going to see it.
Well, that'd be good. That's when you want to be at your
How'd you like to roll in and be the 3 or 4 seed and you look up and it's Centennial?
Oof.
I'm not saying they're going to finish 5th or 6th, but they might.
Might.
But I don't know if it matters. One more. Let's pick one more.
Let's pick Brentwood Page girls.
Brentwood Page girls. Oh, we'll pick both. Brentwood Page girls. You pick first.
I'm going Brentwood.
I'm going Page.
Okay.
Boys side. That game is played at Page.
I'm going Page.
I am too, because of the home.
Yep.
If that were at Brentwood, I'd pick
new gym, by the way.
the new gym.
That'll be is that on TV?
Got the score vision.
That's going to be
boards in.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's nice. It's a really nice. Shout out to Eric Gardner and his crew for getting that thing done. You know, we were talking last year that the hope was we could play the district tournament there this year. Not only are we doing that, they're in. It's great.
It's great.
What a great facility. I know Coach Kaufman and Coach Street are excited about that, and all of Page, really excited. All right, last one. And again, I know we've gone over, so I said we're right in stride now. It's opposite.
No, but this is good.
Ravenwood, Nolensville. I'm going Nolo girls. I'm sure you're going Nolo girls.
I am.
Ravenwood, Nolensville boys. I'm going with the quote-unquote upset.
Wow.
I'm going Ravenwood at home.
I'll go, I get in trouble when I pick against them, which is funny because we ended up being good friends. But Miss Gaynor got hold of me one night at, what was it? It's the one on Gothic Court. I don't even know what it's called anymore now, TOA. She got hold of me one day, and deservedly so. So it's probably going to come back. I'm going Nolensville boys.
Well, she's going to be.
They're not going to lose 2 in 1 week.
She would be more upset if you picked Ravenwood now that they're gone. The Gaynors are gone.
Probably. Okay.
So she's going to be probably happy with the pick.
Sure. There you go. Nolensville's not losing 2 in a week.
I agree.
Might not lose 1.
I agree, but they're going to win Tuesday.
Right. Well, this will be good material for next week.
Well, and I know Coach Whitlock's out there watching.
Of course.
Not that I don't think they'll win, but just to show him we still believe in him. Tate,
Love him. I just don't think he's going to win Friday night.
has nothing to do with that. Tate, glad you're back, man.
Yeah, man. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Thanks for joining us for Sports Connection. We'll see you next time.